Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing my 175th Mezco Toyz 112 Collective action figure review, this time being of the Alien Xenomorph Concept Edition. Now, as we can see, we have this amazing artwork of the Xenomorph, which is the same on the front and the back. But turning the box to the side, we get this amazing facehugger image. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at this new Mezco Xenomorph. Now initially, this is pretty much the exact same figure we just received back in December. As you can see, there really is just a color change where this one is black. This one is this, in my opinion, way creepier milky white, which I just think, I don't know, to me it grosses me out even more to the design of these. But still, how they were able to give it this like really soft wash over the whole figure, where you could really see the sculpt even more so, in my opinion, and I think it looks still so freaking good, man. I love the first Alien. It has its issues, of course, and this one's going to have those exact same issues, but still, I love the Xenomorphs. They're always just such unique characters, and getting a variant which is initially just a color swap is okay with me. I can understand why a lot of people would pass on this, and I can understand why people would prefer something else, maybe a little bigger of a difference. But for me, this thing still looks very, very cool. So again, the head sculpt just looks fantastic. I love the elongated head here. You got that clearer dome going across the top where you can see the bone in it. I do wish the front side of that I'll call it a visor area is a little more foggier than I wish it would be, because you can't really see the skull underneath that. So I wish it was a little more transparent, again, a little foggy to clear, then to foggy again. So I wish you could see the skull just a little bit more. But again, you can see the intricacy of this skull, man. Giger was just such a crazy artist, and his designs are insane. That rib cage looks wild. The musculature all looks awesome. Those crazy six-fingered hands look insane. I mean, again, you could really see how intricate this design really is. The tail just looks so good as well. All those little spiny pieces. You got these whatever breathing tubes coming out the spinal column here, which just looks insane. But again, I love it so much. But just again, just done in this really crazy milky white. For me, just it adds to the creepiness factor, and I don't like it. I like it in the sense that it's a cool design, but this would terrify me so much more than the black version, honestly. But again, I absolutely think it's so freaking cool. Now, moving on to the accessories here, I'm going to blast through them fairly quickly because we've seen them before with the previous Xenomorph, just done in different colors. So we do get the standard Mezco stand, then in like a lighter grayish transparent color. You can see my fingers going through it. So it's pretty cool. I do like that a lot. And of course, we do get the clear articulated arm that comes with every figure. We do get interchangeable hands, so you got these more open palm, flared out fingered hands. We got these more palms doing the Spock sign from Star Trek. And then we have a little more closed fingered hands like so, one for each side like that. We do get interchangeable tongues, so you can still open up the jaw and insert a tongue in there. So we got a shorter tongue like that. We have a longer tongue like so. And then my favorite one is going to be the one where he's like a little more drippy and gross and stuff like that. And I think that just looks so freaking cool. Again, very gross, very gnarly, but I love it so freaking much. We all do get some other little alien creatures. Again, I can never remember whether these are chest bursters or something like that. I don't know, but we get that standard one like so. We get like more of a face-hugging one like that. You can actually wrap around a figure's head, a face, and it's still painted on the inside, and that is so a vagina. I don't care what anybody says. That is a vagina, and that's just terrifying. But we also do get some eggs here that I think are really freaking cool, man. I love these eggs, and even still, these are pretty hefty, you know what I mean? And you can see that they're transparent and almost like this pearlescent type of coat of paint over them, which look really crazy. What I like to do, we get this other chest burst or face hugger, kind of like jumping. Again, the paint on this is really cool, man. Again, almost pearlescent slash metallic, and you can see the inside of it right there just looking super freaking gross. I hate these things. And what I like to do, I kind of like to have these almost like they're crawling out of the eggs and things like that. I just think that is such a cool look, such a creepy freaking design. And then the last thing we're gonna get is that chest piece with the little like tendril coming out of it when this thing gets spiked in the chest. This just comes out on these 3 little pegs like so, and you'll see on the inside of like this one where you can see those exact same 3 pegs. Just line them up and plug them in, and there you go. Now you have the little thing sticking out of it like that. So that's very cool. Again, nothing crazy different from the first one. They're all pretty much the exact same thing, just done in different colors, but they all still work very well for this figure. So now we can check out the articulation here. It's going to be the exact same thing that we've seen before. Just note, if you haven't dealt with the previous alien or are unaware of the previous Xenomorph that we've received from Mezco, this is all a very rubbery body. So you can see me flexing the body. And when you first get it out of the box, it might be a little jarring because just to feel that seamless body that they're trying to do now, it can feel very weird and kind of gross, but I like it. That means the whole inner frame of the articulation is mostly done in metal joints, so it can be a little tricky to handle. So the head can go up and down about that much. We can get side to side, roll around a little bit, you know, pivot side to side. These little hoses are connected to the back piece here. You can see how they kind of fluctuate with the head like that. The arms can go full 360 up and out like so. You can kind of see the ball joint in there done with the metal frame. Can rotate, bend about that much, which is pretty good. And then you can rotate. The hands are on ball pegs, so you can rotate, swirl around, all that kind of stuff. The tricky part is, if you're going to have this figure pose for long periods of time with like a full bend like that, you might want to be careful because, you know, seamless bodies are known to crack and things like that. So just be very careful with what you're doing. And if you're going to do extreme poses with these types of figures, you might not want to have them in those types of poses for a very long time. You know, switch it up here and there. We do get a bubble peg in the upper torso midsection like that, so that kind of rolls around, swivels, and crunches back and forth a little bit. The hip joints could be a little tricky, but they do work very well. Look how far up that thing kicks. That's insane. Back about that far. Very, very nicely. Splits all the way out, which is very, very good. You can rotate up there. You do get bend at the knee like so, and then we get ball joints at the ankles and feet, so you can rotate up and down, and a decent ankle rocker. And then the tail itself is of course on a bendy wire, so you can pose that around and do with it as you will. And again, like I've showed before, the jaw itself is articulated. So overall, you know, if you have the previous Xenomorph, you don't need this one, honestly. This is for people like me who just love the Xenomorphs and the alien characters as a whole and want pretty much every variation possible. I love the Xenomorphs. They are some of my favorite like alien horror creature designs. And again, this is just for someone who wants a very niche type of thing. This is supposed to be like more of a concept art version, which is just a white version, which to me, again, is a little creepier. And I like that. It works for me. But again, if you just don't really care for this, but you still want a Xenomorph, probably easier to just track down the standard black one. But this one I still think is very cool, very awesome, and for people like me, a definite must get. So for a quick size comparison, here is the Xenomorph standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the standard Mezco Xenomorph. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Mezco 112 Collective Alien Xenomorph Concept Edition. Now overall, I think this is a pretty badass figure, and again, if you have the first black Xenomorph, you might not really need this one unless you absolutely want a different color variation, as they are the exact same figure, just done in creepy milky white. But again, one of my biggest concerns is going to be that seamless body. I really am curious to see how that thing will hold up over time. Just be careful not to hold that thing into certain super dynamic poses, as I'm afraid that material might crack down the road. It can be a little finicky to pose around, but once you got it, it works very well, as you saw. And just the thing of this just looks so freaking cool, man. I love the sculpt and the design just look fantastic. All the accessories work very well, especially like the face huggers and the eggs and all the things like that look great. I love the wash over this figure. Such a badass piece. Again, not for everybody, but I love it. And for me, I think he would look great in any of your collections. So be excellent to each other and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.